Fun day today. I get to catch up with Dr. Sola Fola-Alade and talk about his project in the movie industry, Lost. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you.
Very well, thank you.
Looking good as always.
Trying to keep up with you guys.
No, you have a considerable amount of swag. I think you'll be fine.
Thank you for the very kind compliment.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. And you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Brilliant.
I was very interested to hear that you've ventured into movies. You see, this thing seems to be something you do. You started with medicine, moved out into publishing, and then full-time ministry, and then now movies. What happened?
Well, I mean, I guess after being in the ministry for about 32 years and I've done my bit, made some impact. The other day I was, reflecting. So I have two sons, two young adult boys, and one studied politics, the other studied philosophy, but he's gone into music. Okay. So the one that studied politics, I mean, I think it was when he was about 20 thereabout, was interviewed on BBC and Sky News, and I said to him, that, do you know that one interview, has reached more people than my lifetime as a preacher?
Yeah.
His younger brother is into music. I think one of his songs has had about 4 million downloads. Wow. And I said, I'm not sure I've had 40,000 downloads of my message, So I then realized that, hold on, I mean, thank God for what it is that we do. But there's a lot more that we can do in terms of influence
in
a totally different platform. When I watch movies, I'm thinking to myself, the guys that watch these things on Netflix or Amazon, a large proportion of them will never walk into a church.
Yes.
How do we get this message to them such that it brings them to Christ?
Yeah.
Albeit subtly.
Tell me about Lost first.
Yes, we're still playing around with the name, so we have a working title. So Lost, Stolen, but anyway, the movie. Okay, essentially, it's a movie that captures, the general trend of the age. I'm Nigerian born. I live in England. I've been there for 29 years, 30 years next year. It is about the story of people looking for a better future. Nigerians, Africans, the whole migration thing. In Nigeria, they call it Jackpa, and it's about 4 different characters trying to, as it were, leave the hardship of their countries here in Africa and, looking for a better life in England. And as a result, they, in a sense, either compromise or do something or the other, and hence, the word stolen future. So there's one bit, I don't want to give up
give away too much.
Yeah, but there's about what we used to call a prostitute, commercial worker of some sort, in a bit to travel, how to enter into some kind of, fetish covenant to kind of secure a future. Before she's even left, her future has been stolen. Compromised.
Yeah.
And then various things happen to her along the way that shows that, hey, something else has taken your future. And then, there are a few other characters, and, it just essentially shows that the fact that you travel abroad doesn't mean that you leave your problems behind. I'm trying to, in many senses, help people understand that we live in parallel worlds. Okay, so we may wear lovely suits, drive nice cars and all of that, but there's another world that to which we are puppets to.
Yes. And
the puppeteers are what we call the kingdom of darkness or the kingdom of light. And so there's a supernatural realm that controls this world. So I'm not saying that everything that happens is supernatural, but then I kind of help people understand that, the supernatural realm is real and it has an effect on this world, and the decisions we make have their consequences.
Yeah.
I don't want to give up the...
No, I can appreciate that.
Yes.
It sounds like a lot of real stories, real life stories.
Yes.
The different scenarios and all. But does this one have a happy ending? Or is this one of those movies that we need to go with our serviette and our tissue and cry afterwards?
It's not a horror movie. It's not a tragedy. Neither is it a full comedy.
Okay.
You're not going to be laughing all the way.
Okay.
But it definitely has a hopeful ending.
Okay.
Let me keep some things in the mystery box a bit.
Why I'm asking is because I need to know if I'm watching it first before my family.
Yes.
Or because, I can't be crying in front of my kids and my wife. I have to be a tough guy. So if it's going to be that kind of movie, let me know.
Let me say you might cry a bit in the middle.
But watching it first.
At the end, you end up smiling.
Okay.
Because there is triumph at the end of most of the trials.
Okay.
But we try to keep it as real as possible. Yeah.
It's going to be a good one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. And I appreciate you. Thank you for making the time.